Good afternoon, all. Paul from CamelbackTrading.org. Coming to you Thursday afternoon, May 8th. We're looking at Window Trader's market profile of the ES and the NQ. So let's talk about the positives first. ES finally put the monthly back to balance, the weekly up, and the daily up. NQ was already in balance on the monthly and up on the weekly. They put the daily up. Righty came out of balance on the daily and put the daily up, but they still have not taken out the monthly high to go back to balance or the weekly high that I would like them to take out to call the weekly up. They did go out with a double distribution day that held and a 9-wide point of control. ES and NQ, as you can see, once again, this is why we call them the Three Stooges, Curly, Larry, and Moe, KL and M, as a beat to their own drum sometimes, especially Moe. And he wiped out the trend day that we had in ES and in NQ. So ES ends with only an 8-wide point of control. NQ ends with a 9-wide point of control. Again, you got to take what M does with a grain of salt. Now, if we take out today's low tomorrow, well, then we're right back to balance on the daily. So if you're a bull, you don't want to see that. So even though we came back into the previous balance, right, to me the daily's up right now. If we take out today's low, then you're back to balance, okay? So, how much do we rely on or lean on what M did? Well, sometimes it's meaningless, sometimes it's powerful. Look at yesterday. Yesterday, it had that incredible price probe late in the day. And look what it did today. We gapped higher. Now the gaps failed, right? We did fail on the gaps. But look when we came down to the base of the price probe. Barely got into it in ES, and in NQ's case, didn't even get it. So I'm leaving it in there, although today's low is just as important because that would put the daily back to balance. So sometimes M is very important. Sometimes, the next day or the coming days, it isn't as much. So we'll see. Don't forget, you had a 9-wide point of control up here. Look, we can't ignore the fact that all the volume, again, if I put this in ones, again, I'm not sure what M's volume down here. Actually, they did a lot of volume in M late. Whether it's some of the purple. Remember, the yellow is the top 1%. The purple is 39%. The white is 60%. All the business was being done here. The volume POC and TPO are just about the same exact price in ES, and Q were close. So all the business was being done up here. So not sure, right? Because a lot of people are like, oh, that's it for the bulls. I'm going to go home short. I wouldn't guarantee that. Okay, just to keep it in mind. Ended up having a good day, but after losing the last 3 trades of the day yesterday, started with 3 losses this morning. I haven't done that in a long time, 6 in a row. But the day turned around. And ended up having a good day. I started my first trade actually in ES. I took a short in A thinking they would fill the gap. It didn't. It went back up. Well, they did fill it eventually, but not when I was in it. And I took it off. Then I took a long against the gap fill in ES. Lost out on that one. It wasn't a lot. I lost a total of about 6 points, 7 points. Nothing big. Then I went to NQ. I took a long on the overnight halfback when we had come down in A. That didn't hold. Lost on that. So A period wasn't a good start. But again, net, I was talking about maybe, 750, 800. Then in B period, though, I did get the short to get A's low. Took the short to get the gap fill. Then I took a long because I didn't think we would go trend. Now, we did, but very small. The long I got paid on. And then it did eventually go trend, but very small. ES never did on the downside. Then in C period, took a long time, but I timed it very nicely. Got a very nice short to get the IB low. So came back very nicely then. Then in D period, flipped the switch to take the long to get the IB high. So we got both IBs today. I was long in E period in both ES and in NQ. In ES, it was to get the overnight high, which we got. And in NQ, it was, I missed the overnight high. Oh, no, I didn't. No, I didn't. I got both overnights. I'm sorry. So I got ES's overnight high and NQ's overnight high in E period. So that was good. Then the afternoon was pretty quiet. I period, I took a long against about the 144, and I thought it could be an afternoon pullback inside the single prints. Made some on that before it went down further. And then in J period, I took a long, where is that? Against the single prints again. Now, they eventually got filled in M, but the longs I took in I and J, I got paid on both of them. And then I sat out. I didn't do anything with the Stooges, K and L. K and L really weren't doing much. K stopped the one-time framing down. Then L took out K's low right away. Then it reversed. So I'm like, you know, this is really interesting. And then M just absolutely wrecked a bunch of longs from up higher, obviously, late in the day. And then let's go to the charts because things have changed, right? The monthly is officially balanced in NQ. Now, it's only May 8th, so how big is the balance? I don't know yet, right? No idea. Is it going to be a 2-month balance? Is it going to be a 3-month balance? Let's see what we do the rest of the month. If we get legs into March, then I'd call a 3-month balance. If we don't get many legs into March, then maybe I'd only call it 2, but remains to be seen. But the positive thing I feel is after such a beautiful close to April, it didn't take that long to take out May's high. We could have come in and floundered a bit and taken back some of this. We didn't, at least not yet. So we're balanced. The weekly, finally, I will call it up in ES. Okay, SPY had been up. Finally going to call it up in ES. And then the daily is also up. Now today's volume only 60 million. Our average is, give me a second, I think it's 68 million. So we're going to do on average. But remember yesterday we said we had a kind of an indecision candle? Look at today. Now, even though I'm going to call the daily up, look at that indecision on that close. Now, some people might call this a 6-day balance. I do not have a problem with that. Right? It's all subjective, but I'm calling it up. I'm going to give the bulls their due. If we take out today's low, right back to balance. And it's 6 days in a row now. We're above the 50, but trapped below the 200 still, which is at 573.21. So we got within $3 of it today. By the way, triple Qs did get it today. Look at that. Remember, one day, 1 week doesn't make a market. We got above it, but closed below it. So it's been a while since we closed above the 200-day moving average in ES, NQ, and certainly IWM. So we're going to have to see going forward. We talked about this. Look, remember, I'm going to use SPY. Remember when we got back up here? When was that? That was late March. I said 1 day, 2 days, 3 days doesn't make a market. We have to see if we get acceptance above it. And what happened? It failed. Came in, one last gasp, and then the sell began. So this is a real critical area here still. Even though the monthly's balanced now and the weekly and daily are up for now, this is going to be a critical area that the bulls need to get over. Hope you had a good day trading. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing to this channel. Enjoy your evening, and we'll speak prior to the opening tomorrow.